Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Villages Pops Chorus Band and the Villages Pops Chorus, directed by Mr. Bill Davis.
Here's looking at you, kid.
Mr. DeMille, I'm ready for my close-up.
I'll be back.
Thank you. Thanks very much, and welcome to our summer concert, which for the first time is completely sold out for both shows. We continue to be overwhelmed by the amount of support you give us, and we really appreciate it. Your support has made it possible for us to donate over $45,000 to local charities, and that number will grow with this concert. This time we're donating to All One Family, Inc., who we have been proud to support before, and the Villages chapter of Vietnam Veterans of America. We thank you on their behalf. We couldn't do this very well without the support of our friends here at North Lake Presbyterian Church. And here to welcome you to the church is Pastor Lynn Miller.
So all I can say is hooray for the Village Pops. Thank you. I am Pastor Lynn Miller, Director of Congregational Care here at North Lake, and I'd like to share with you that we have 3 services every Sunday. Our first service is at 8:15, and that is a traditional service. We have a 9:45 contemporary service at the other end of our building in our fellowship hall. And then again at 11:15, we're back here in the sanctuary. And you are all welcome to join us anytime you feel moved to do so. We are in God's house, so let's go to the Lord in prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us here safely today. Thank you for the love, the talent, and the spirit of the Village Pops. May we travel home safely and enjoy our concert. We ask this in your loving name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. If I may, there are a few others I need to recognize. They're pretty much the same people I always recognize, but they deserve it every single time. First, the Pops Band. I won't recite all of their names, but they're all listed in the program, and I wish you'd take a look at it. They are truly some of the best musicians in the Villages. We're really lucky to have them available to play for us, and it's pretty much the same folks every time, and that is fabulous. And one of them is the person without whom we would not have even tried to start this group, our wonderful accompanist, Joanne Hannebrink. And of course, our Director of Administration, and the chorus knows that that means she keeps the director straight, Sue Davis. And in the booth, Cindy Kubek, Steve Reel, and Jerry Sherman. Our first song was, of course, the great Johnny Mercer, Richard Whiting anthem to Hollywood. It was really that arrangement that gave us the idea for a show dedicated to songs associated with the movies, starting right off, of course, with the great Blues Brothers medley that the band played. Next up is a song from the world of Disney. It won the Golden Globe, the Oscar, Grammy for Song of the Year, and is the only song from a Disney animated film to reach #1 on the Billboard charts. And I bet you will be surprised when you hear which one it is. After that, our guys will sing a Henry Mancini song for which there are no lyrics. It's an instrumental. But I'll bet you know what it is as soon as they start. Now here's that Disney tune that won so many awards. It's from the animated film Aladdin.
Oh,
Great job, guys. You got that one, right? You know what song that was. The musical Grease was first produced in 1972 on Broadway and won 7 Tony nominations. It ran until 1980. At the end of the time it closed, was the longest-running musical of all time, since been surpassed by a couple, but at the time it was. The 1978 film version, starring John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John, was at the time the highest-grossing musical film ever. It included many of the original songs and 2 new songs written specifically for the movie, including the one we're going to do for you. This song was #1 in the US and 9 other countries and sold 15 million copies. And yes, it's been added to the stage production. Okay, gang, let's get our inner greaser out, huh? Thanks very much. The a cappella gold folks are back with another great song for us. While not written for the movies, it has been used in dozens of films, and it's often called the first doo-wop song. Very prominently used in Dirty Dancing, by the way. And by the way, the spelling in the program is correct. The word night in the title was originally N-I-G-H-T, but was changed to N-I-T-E to avoid confusion with a Cole Porter song of the same title. Then Jim Blue is going to bring us a song sung by Bing Crosby in the award-winning film from 1944, Going My Way. And when I say award-winning, the film was nominated for 10 Academy Awards and won 7 of them, including Best Picture and Best Song for the one Jim will sing for us. And now, here's A Cappella Gold.
1, 2, 3.
Dum 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 doo. Shoo, shoo, doo. Dum doo.
I remember that night in May. The stars were bright up above. My heart and I pray to keep your precious love songs and hold me again with all of your might in the still of the night. In the still of the night. Shoo-ah, 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 oh, shoo-ah, 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 shoo-ah. Sing before the light. Hold me again with all of your might in the still of the night. In the still of the night. In the still of the night. In the still
Or would you like to swing on a star, carry moonbeams home in a jar, and be better off than you are? Or would you rather be a mule? A mule is an animal with long funny ears, kicks up at anything he hears. His back is brawny, but his brain is weak. He's just plain stupid with a stubborn streak. And by the way, if you hate to go to school, you may go up to be a mule. Or would you like to swing on a star, carry moonbeams home in a jar, and be better off than you are? Or would you rather be a pig? A pig is an animal with dirt on his face. His shoes are a terrible disgrace. He has no manners when he eats his food. He's fat and lazy and extremely rude. But if you don't care a feather or a fig, you may grow up to be a pig. Or would you like to swing on a star, carry moonbeams home in a jar, and be better off than you are? Or would you rather be a fish? A fish won't do anything but swim in a brook. He can't write his name or read a book. To fool the people is his only thought. And though he's slippery, still gets caught. But then if that sort of life is what you wish, you may grow up to be a fish. And all the monkeys are in the zoo. Every day you'll meet quite a few. So you see, it's all up to you. You can be better than you are. You could be swinging on a star.
Thank you, ACG and Jim. Great job. By the way, I would be remiss if not mentioning our dedication award. You may have noticed one of the ACG guys went that way instead of this way after they sang. That's because Jim Vukovic is one of our regular members. He spends the summer in North Dakota. But he came back this week just to sing with ACG and with the folk singers later. So thank you, Jim. We're really excited to bring our special musical guest up to perform with us next. If you've not had the chance to hear harmonica virtuoso Phil Caltaballata, you are in for a very big treat. He is joining us for a song written by Henry Mancini with lyrics by Johnny Mercer, who else, for the film Breakfast at Tiffany's. The song won both the Oscar and a Grammy for Best Song and has been recorded by hundreds of singers and instrumentalists. Here is the haunting Moon River. Thank you, Phil. And great job, chorus, band, and Joe. Fabulous. Phil will be back with a song of his own in just a little while. We mentioned Grease before, which was a film adapted from a Broadway show, and our next song is in the same mold. The musical Sweet Charity was a Broadway hit in 1966, and both the original production and many subsequent revivals have been nominated for and won Tony Awards. Oh, by the way, just strictly by coincidence, I'll be directing a production of Sweet Charity for the Villages Musical Theater next year. So watch out for it in early March. The show was made into a successful film in 1969 starring Shirley MacLaine. Our ladies will bring you one of the well-known songs from the show. That will be followed by a song written for the 1971 film Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. While it was not nominated for Best Song and was never released as a single, I think it's one of the loveliest songs in our show today. It invites you into a world where anything is possible. And if you want to change the world, there's nothing to it. It's been recorded by dozens of artists for albums, including Lou Rawls, Mariah Carey, Barbra Streisand, the list goes on and on. But before that, our ladies will bring us Charity Hope Valentine's signature song.
See me now that
The guys from the Pops Chorus Folk Singers are making their way to the platform to bring you our next song, one that was also nominated for an Academy Award. It's from the movie The Alamo, starring John Wayne. The song was sung in the movie by the Brothers Four and was one of their best-selling songs. Then we will have the one song in the show that has no movie tie-in at all. And that's because we had planned to have it sung at our spring concert by one of our wonderful sopranos, Debbie Chambers. But she came down with laryngitis and wasn't able to sing it for you. But now she's just fine and ready to go. And it's a really nice song, so I think somebody should put it in a movie. It's a fun song recorded in 1969 by Mary Hopkin and written by John Lennon and Paul McCartney. Well, actually it was written by McCartney alone, but all of the songs written by them at the time received billing for both of them. And it includes a good chance for you to sing along, so be ready. But first, here are the guys with their beautiful song. Oh, and make sure you do save the date of October 24th for the Pops Chorus Folk Singers' second Hootenanny called Give a Hoot 2 to be performed right here at Northlake.
Thank you, Debbie. And folk guys. Barbra Streisand is someone who I expect you know pretty well as a performer. But did you know she is also a songwriter? Now, truth be told, I could only find 5 songs that she is credited with writing. But one of them was not only one of her biggest hits, but also won the Academy Award as Best Song, making her the first woman to be honored with an Oscar as a composer. So I guess 1 out of 5 ain't bad. It's a song from the 1976 movie remake of A Star is Born, which starred Miss Streisand and Chris Christopherson. The song, of course, is evergreen, and we're happy to have found a beautiful arrangement of this song for you. That will be followed by a song called Dear Heart from a movie called, interestingly enough, Dear Heart. We actually have 2 examples in our show of songs from a movie where the movie's title was changed to match the title of the song. The other's coming up shortly. The film was really of little note and didn't do very much, but the song was nominated for an Academy Award and was a big hit for Andy Williams, as well as making the charts with versions by Henry Mancini, who wrote the music, and Jack Jones. We're joined on that song by Sally Madison. But now, here's Miss Streisand's only hit as a composer. Thank you, Sally. Speaking of women who are composers, how about that Dolly Parton? She has written literally thousands of songs, and one that she wrote as a theme for a 1980 movie received an Academy Award nomination and multiple Grammy Awards. She was also one of the stars of the movie. Then we'll have the title song for a film that was Bette Midler's first gold record and won her the Grammy for Best Vocal Performance. While the song was the title of the movie, it was not written specifically for the movie, having been written a few years before, so it was not eligible for the Oscar. Jan Lavin and the ladies from the Pops Folk Singers will bring you The Rose. But first, let's go to the office.
Some say love, it is a river that drowns the tender reed. Some say love, it is a razor that leaves the heart to bleed. Some say love, it is the hunger, an endless aching need. I say love, it is a flower, and you, it's only seed. It's the heart afraid of breaking that never learns to dance. It's the dream afraid of waking that never takes a chance. It's the one who won't be taken, who cannot seem to give, and the soul afraid of dying that never learns to live. When the night has been too lonely and the road has been too long, and you think that love is only for the lucky and the strong, just remember in the winter, far beneath the bitter snow, lies a seed that with the sun's love in the spring becomes the
Thank you, Jan and folk gals. Time to bring Phil back up. He'll be joined by Kevin O'Connell, Dennis St. Germain, and Don Hainlin, also known as the Kevin O'Connell Trio, and by Bill Neal on guitar. This is the other instance where the name of a movie was changed to take advantage of the popularity of the title song. The song had been around for 9 years before it was used as the title song for a movie. And interestingly, the title has nothing at all to do with the subject matter of the film. Other than it's a somewhat melancholy song, although not quite the way these guys are going to play it. And it was a melancholy film, and probably one you've never seen. So here are Phil and the guys playing Autumn Leaves. And are you in for a treat? Phil Caltabalata and the Kevin O'Connell Trio and Bill Neal. Great job, guys. I have a chance to play golf once in a while with one of my former Three for the Road bandmates, Larry Zeppernick, and while we were having an adult beverage of choice after a recent round, he said, "Hey, Bill, I've got an idea for a song for Pop's Chorus. Do you remember that song from the Superman movie?" And I said, "Do you mean, Can You Read My Mind?" And he said, "Yeah, that's it." Well, apparently he can read my mind because it was already planned for this show. And it's coming up next. Then we'll have a song written by the songwriting team of Kander and Ebb, who wrote such musicals as Chicago and Cabaret, among many others. The song we're going to do was originally written for Liza Minnelli for a movie about a big city in the state of New York. Frank Sinatra kind of stole the song from Liza. You get where I'm going here? And it really became his song. Bet you know what it is already. Villages Musical Theater is doing a Kander and Ebb show this fall called The World Goes Round, directed by our own Mary Lou Merkner and including many of the Pops folks. So watch out for it if you would. It's one of 4 shows this fall that include direction and performances by many of the Pops Chorus members. The others being Nonsense, Young Frankenstein, and Promises, Promises. It's a lot of shows in a short period of time. But we hope you can get out and support all of them. Because when you do that, you're supporting your friends and neighbors. You know, I often think the term active adult lifestyle is used here. Well, for those of us, active means being on the stage, not just going to see something on the stage. So, but for us to be able to do that, it requires you to come and see us. So we really appreciate your support when you do. But before that song about some town in New York, here's the beautiful Can You Read My Mind?
Can you read my mind? Do you know what it is you do to me? Don't know who you are.
Thank you. Thanks very much. Well, we've come to the end of the show. We really appreciate your support, and we hope you have the dates for our future shows on your calendars, including the Hootenanny in October and the holiday show on December 4th. By the way, last year, our holiday concert sold out 2 weeks in advance. Just saying. Tickets will go on sale October 12th for the holiday show. Thanks again to the fabulous Phil Caltabalata and the band. And especially to Joe. We leave you tonight with perhaps the best known song from a movie of all time. It needs no further introduction. Please be safe on your way home, and we hope to see you again soon.